Alright, made a video earlier about Skybound that just got uploaded, so figured I'd make another one before I go to bed. So this is going to be a darker one, so if you're not into depressing things, you might just want to go ahead and click off of this. But before we get into it, if you haven't clicked off, you can find the links to my social media pages as well as my PayPal in the description. I found figured out how to make a link to my PayPal. It wasn't very hard. I was making it out to be something it wasn't. But in this video, I want to talk about something a bit different. I want to talk about my life philosophy. I just got done debating some people on the internet that think that they're all high and mighty. They think their opinions actually matter. They think that when they're dead and gone, they'll be remembered for something great because they got in the comments section and they shit on somebody for their views. I was debating some atheists, not because I'm a Christian or anything. I've made that clear that I'm not in the past. But I was debating them on the matter of, and I was being very polite. It wasn't even really a debate. I say that term loosely. Really, I was leaving a comment because one of them had said something that I considered to be kind of dumb. And that was that atheism was inherent in all humans. It was, when we're born, we're automatically atheists. And I left a comment, and I could be wrong about this too. I'm not necessarily right, but I could be wrong here. But I left a comment and I said, atheism, in its term, the terminology has to be learned as well. It's not necessarily inherent in humans. Atheism, as far as the term goes, is learned, and also children aren't atheists because the ideology. Hold on, let me rearrange this. Hold on, just a second. Okay, the ideology that is atheism is that there is no afterlife or anything either. And in order to deny an afterlife and deny gods and deny religiosity and spiritualism, you have to first understand what spiritualism is to be able to deny it. You can't deny something you don't know exists because you don't know it exists. You just simply don't know of its existence. Therefore, you can't deny it, you can't accept it, you can't do anything with it other than don't understand it exists. And this is a child. When the man was arguing that newborn babies are automatically atheists, and that's what I said to him. He didn't reply back to me, but another guy did, and he was like, "You fucking idiot," and he was calling me all these names, and I just thought to myself, I need to make a video about this, because it just popped in my head, and I've thought about filming this before, but just talking with these primates made me think of this. My philosophy of life is that life doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, does it matter? No. Obeying your government, does it matter? No. Obeying the law, does it matter? Fuck no. None of it makes a shit. And I'll explain to you why right now. Right after I get this chair to stop croaking on me. This old ass chair, and sorry, but it squeaks like shit. But what do I mean when I say nothing matters? Okay, you think about how vast the universe is, and how chaotic it is, and how no matter what we do, things stay the same. No matter what you say or do, the earth is going to continue to revolve around the sun. No matter what I say here in this video, a star is somewhere still going to explode. If I say star don't explode, it's not going to stop exploding. It's going to continue. Nothing we do or say will ever matter in the grand scheme of things. Everything we do will be forgotten, because even as a race, we are utterly pointless. Our existence means nothing. It changes nothing. There are races of beings in this universe, I'm sure, that have been here for millions and millions of years, evolving. They are most likely vastly superior to us, but yet we in our minds think that we are somehow still superior to them because we're humans or something, which makes us better. The reality of the fact is that we are inferior primates that are we are no more intelligent, for the most of us anyway, Not most of us. Most of us are more intelligent than primates. But it seems that the more ignorant people have a louder voice in society for some odd reason. I'll never understand that. You'd think the more intelligent people would run things, but it seems the dumbasses run society. And also, dumbasses breed more than smart people do. So, there's a shitload of smart people, but dumbasses breed more. And these dumbasses are no more intelligent than that fucking rock in my backyard. They are no more intelligent than a primate. It's essentially all we are anyway. So what makes you think we matter? It's as we view the animals. When a squirrel, let's say it like this. When you go to the zoo, you're looking at this gorilla through the glass. You do not care about that gorilla. Nothing that thing does is going to make or break your life unless it jumps to that glass and breaks you. That'd be kind of bad, but you know what I mean. It can sit on a rock, it can piss on a flat rock, it can get up and take a walk up the hill somewhere. It's not going to change your life no matter what it does, and that's how we are probably viewed among the stars from other far more superior races. And this is not just boiled down to a multiracial issue among the universe or whatever. We are just objectively nothing. So are those other races in the universe. Everything you do in life will eventually be forgotten. And when you are 70, 80 years old, 90, 100, 110, 120, no matter how old you are, when you keel over, you will keel over until we figure out biological immortality, that is, and then your death will be relegated to a violent one. So, meaning you could only die by the sword or by a gun or by a laser. You could only die by a violent, painful means. You could only be murdered when biological immortality becomes a thing. So you still die. Either way, you still die. So no matter what you do, you can be the most legendary, famous ruler that's ever lived. In some length of time, you may be remembered for 10,000 years, but eventually you will be forgotten. Not only will you decompose, be eaten by animals, and have your flesh processed into shit that will then hit the dirt and rot, and what remains of you will also rot. We are useless, we are pointless, nothing we will ever do will matter. Yet we think it does. I know this sounds like a very negative concept, and I'm not saying go outside and blow your brains out right now. I'm not crazy, I'm not saying that. I'm just wanting you to realize, I want you to do this. Don't waste your time on people's shit. When someone stops you outside, you ever get in an argument with somebody and they're trying to prove a point to you, don't even bother because their point means nothing, and in 100 years they're going to die. They're going to be forgotten, and so is their point of view. Because cultures and sciences and people are constantly changing. Everything's malleable and constantly in change. Nothing's ever static. So what that person believes to be fact now, what the majority of people believe to be fact now, in 100 years will be seen as total bullshit. Now that is a fact, that everything's ever changing. You can look at history and assume that one. You can look at history and you can figure that one out. Anybody can figure that one out. So that's essentially my philosophy on life. There's no sense in putting up with people's shit, and there's no sense in you fighting back against them either. Someone's mouthing off at you, don't even punch them, just walk off, because you're wasting your punch. You're just hurting your hand for no good reason at all. You just punched what in 60 years will be a hunk of feces in the mud. It's a very sobering thought when you understand. It's a very sobering moment when you come to the understanding that you're nothing more than a useless pile of shit. You were dust, and you will soon become dust again. And you got 100 years or 60 years to live. That's a long time. Well, then you come to realize, 60 years, that's not a long time. The universe has been here for billions and billions and billions of eons. Your 60 years on this planet is not even that. It's less than the blink of an eye. It's nothing. You will be forgotten. You are no more significant than that grain of sand out there. Because the reality is that's what you came from. And when you die, either by the sword or from natural causes, you will return to that sand. So don't pay anyone any mind. You'll have people that want to change your mind, that want to shit on you, that want to do horrible things to you, that want to call you names and things like that. Just don't even bother. Don't even reply to them. it's in a comment section, don't reply to them. Don't even bother. Just block them and move on, because it's pointless. Pointless. You're arguing with another pile of shit. You're arguing with a monkey. Don't even bother. Just keep on keeping on. Just go until your time expires and be done with it. Make the best of your life. Live happily. Mind your own business and don't bother anybody else. Do what makes you happy. And let that be the end of it. Live happy. Treat people good. You know. Do what you gotta do so that when you die you won't have any regrets while you're lying on your deathbed. That's a miserable feeling. So live a happy life. Mind your own business, as I've said before in a previous video. And don't fret too much when people jack you around, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to rot. We're all going to die. We're all going to be forgotten. It's just the way it is. That's pretty brutalistic of me to say. It's kind of a negative, brutalist sort of view, but it's true. How many people remember... How many people remember the exact geography of the old world? The days of Samaria and Mesopotamia and all this, you know. The majority of people, I can't even tell you that. At the time, people thought that their nations were infallible. The Sumerians thought they would exist forever. The Sumerians thought they were so badass. These other nations that existed alongside the Sumerians thought that their nations would endure. They thought they were so strong, and look what happened. They all died, they were forgotten, and even their nations died. Their people died. Their culture faded into obscurity until some archaeologists dug up a rock with some symbols on it and found this ancient culture, these ziggurats and things like this, and decoded that it was the Sumerians. Well, we still don't know the majority of what their culture was like. They've been forgotten for the most part, other than a few things here and there. You know, how many people How many people remember what society was like in the caveman days, back around the time of Homo erectus, when fire was being discovered? Or no, that wasn't Homo erectus. That was, well, I can't remember. I know for a damn fact it wasn't Homo erectus. So I'm wrong there. No, mind like I'm wrong by saying I'm wrong, and somebody will come along and say, it was Homo erectus, and then I'll sit here and laugh and go, ha ha, I prevail at idiocy once again. It's, nothing matters. What I'm trying to get across to you here is that, in the end, we're all forgotten. Everything we do fades away. Like dust in the wind. We're forgotten. We are nothing. Nothing we do will be remembered. Everything we do will be forgotten. And we ourselves will rot. Right now, we still remember the ancient Greek philosophers. The only reason we have remembrance of them is because we have copies of their texts and things. And you say, I say, what happens when the texts rot? And these stone tablets erode away and all these copies fade away. You say, well, we got the internet, we have future generations to copy them. What if the next Christianity comes along? What happens if a nuclear war broke out today? All of your internet went away. All of your electronics went away. All of that goes away. You're back in antiquity. Technology-wise. Okay, well then what happens if that next religious cult rises up and comes and burns all your texts and forces their way down your throat? Welcome to the Dark Ages. The Greeks have officially been forgotten. Their ways are forgotten. You don't know who Socrates is. He existed. But he didn't really. Not in your mind. You don't know who he is. Nobody does. Except for a few people that hold a few remaining pieces of these tablets in their fucking vault somewhere, maybe the Vatican does. Some of these old scripts, some of these old manuscripts and texts, they hold them in their fucking Vatican vault. Nobody else can read them. We don't know what was in that vault. We don't know where this stuff came from. And just like the vault, in 100,000 years from now, what I'm doing here, I'm sitting here making this video, it doesn't matter. This video will be forgotten. My audience will be dead and in the grave. And everything we do will rot. Whether that be physically or mentally. Mentally being the memory of something being rotten and forgotten. or physically you decompose, get eaten by buzzards, and rot into the soil, and become soil and fertilizer for someone's plants. You ever think about that, by the way? When you're digging in your garden, you're probably digging into decomposed ruins of someone that died 100,000 years ago. Yeah, that's a pretty grim thought, but it's true. It's very true. You become dirt. And at the same time, you think it's a very depressing thought, but really, our cultures and our ideas mean nothing. But in death, there's more meaning than what we do in life, in a way, because when you die, you become one with the universe again. You become one with the planet again. Strange to think about. The cycle of life is a weird one. It's a weird cycle indeed. But, yeah. Figured I'd make this depressing video. I've been wanting to make it for a while, so, yeah. If you're sitting there watching this going, oh, shit. Oh, man. Don't feel bad. Just walk away knowing this. No matter what you feel, you're gonna die anyway. I'm just joking with you. No, but just walk away from this knowing that you don't feel all depressed from watching this. If anything, you should feel happy. You should feel relieved. You should feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. You should feel like no longer should you have to fight with other people for what you think is right, and try to change people's minds, because in 100 years their minds will become dirt. Their brains will decompose. There will be no reason to tell these people anything, because it's not getting anywhere. Oh, well, it's to change the minds of the young. They watch debates online, and it'll change people's minds who are currently trying to find a place in the world. They'll die one day too. Everything dies. So, with that said, I'm going to turn this video off, and I'm going to probably go to sleep and upload this overnight, and I'll have something ready for you in the morning. Something more uplifting, maybe a political video. Probably. Anyway, see you around.